Hey y'all, it's me, Tara Strong, aka Miss Minutes for Bama Geeks. I hope you're ready to watch, and if you don't, I will have to prune you. Stay on your sacred timeline.
Hey, good evening. We are live on YouTube.
Hello.
How y'all doing tonight?
The
Talking
Yub
about-
Tubs.
Yep.
Love it.
I have to say, I thoroughly enjoy that beat that's dropped while our intro video is playing. I have
Hey,
to
like
say
that?
that's
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys totally couldn't see it, but I was trying to headbang to it, and
Yeah.
it wasn't working out as well. But it's not quite that kind of beat, but it's close.
Well, I'm hip, I'm down.
You're cool with the kid.
And our intro, has a mention about sacred timelines and
Yes.
things of that nature. So that ties right into topics of discussion for this evening.
Right.
Yes.
So if you're just joining us for the first time, we're the Bama Geeks. I'm Brock Parker. My wife Jessica is here. And we've got the ever steady Kevin Gardner and Bo Bearden. We are 4 people living around the Birmingham, Alabama area. And we've been friends for years. And we love just to get together and do this. So we welcome you to the stream if it's your first time. If you're catching the replay, welcome. Leave a comment. Say hi.
Hello.
And of course, if you're watching live tonight, drop comments in the chat as we talk about Deadpool and Wolverine. I will say that Deadpool
Is it spoilery though? Is it going to be spoilery?
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
We need to make sure that you guys are
Yeah.
aware. Okay, we did put in the title that it is going to be spoilery. So if you haven't
Absolutely.
seen it and you don't want to be spoiled, leave now.
Yeah, absolutely. And before we really get into the spoilery stuff, we'll mention it once again. If you've listened to us for a long time and have heard us reference Deadpool, you will know that for me personally, I can't stand the character. I don't like Deadpool. I don't like the movies. I hated the first one so badly that I refused to see the second one. Still haven't seen the second one. But Jess and I knew that these two gentlemen had seen it. And I'm like, okay, we kind of can't be left out. Plus, I really want to see what kind of cameos. I kept hearing people say there are cameos. You got to see the cameos.
Fan service, cameos, fan service.
That's what we kept hearing. And in June, I went to a work conference in New York City where Ryan Reynolds was just a few feet away from me for an hour or so. And so I got to hear him talk about it and talk about marketing and stuff for the movie and things that he and Hugh Jackman did. Of course, he didn't spoil anything, thankfully. So I knew that we needed to see it.
But I mean, that's Hugh Jackman. Thanks to Ricky ever forgiving me that.
Huge Jackman.
Huge Jackman, yeah.
I want to say I know that was one of the things I was like, once I saw it, I knew you needed to see just for your enjoyment of him as an actor.
Yeah,
And
because
oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, speaking, I didn't want us to get too far away from it, but speaking of the marketing portion of this, the marketing of this film has been better than any film I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
The social media marketing that they've done. I've linked some stuff in our Bama Geeks chat just talking about, hey, Shane.
Hello.
Hey, Shane.
Hello.
No.
Shane says hello.
But I've linked some stuff, that I've found. I mean, they're everywhere. I mean, granted, I don't do TikTok anymore, but I know they're on TikTok. I know they're doing shorts on Facebook everywhere. So it doesn't matter what generation you are, whether you're an old fogey that I'd rather see my stuff in trailers, or it's got to be on the Facebook and or something like that, or you're just all you do is watch YouTube or you just do TikTok all day. There's no way you didn't know about this.
Yeah.
Well, this is interesting. It felt very like a very 90s promotion. They had tie-ins with food.
I got a sweet bracelet.
Oh, you did? Cool.
Nice.
Yeah, that was the hold it up again, honey. Let's.
Oh, is it the
Not
friendship
me.
bracelet? Yes.
There you go. Yeah, this was given away at the IMAX.
Nice.
Yeah. Did you guys? I know. Did you even think about getting the AMC tub?
The bucket.
Yes.
No, no.
It is up for pre-order on AMC's website. The Wolverine mouth and everything. I'm tempted.
I saw it then. I mean, if I'd have known you guys might have wanted it, I saw it the night that I was there. They had them.
It's not one of those must-haves, but it's funny enough that, now that I've seen it up for pre-order through the AMC site.
I don't know if I could say that's better than the Dune one,
Dune.
but it was pretty good.
I think it's because of the Doom is what made that one so good.
Yeah,
That's why. It's,
Absolutely.
yeah, I mean that's what they said was that ours is going to be even better. And I mean it's better, but the Dune one was. I think the Dune one was funnier because
it wasn't planned.
Unexpected. Yeah. Shai Hulud.
But Hugh Jackman is another reason I wanted to see it, because I've seen everything he's done as Wolverine, and I hated not to go see him in this. I mean, Jess and I went to see when he was doing his big stadium tour. We went to State Farm Arena and got to see him live, which was fantastic. So I knew we wanted to see it, and I knew the marketing was great, and I heard about there was going to be a lot of cameos, and everybody was giving it rave reviews, and I took a deep breath and I'm like, okay, we're not doing anything on Saturday. Let's go see Deadpool and Wolverine. Even though I hate this character.
We needed something to kill the time before SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't stand how crude it is. I can't stand the language. That's just, I'm an old fogey.
Yeah.
I freaking loved this movie.
Yes. Yes.
The 118 times they said the F word. Did not.
Did you count?
It didn't faze me.
I think we looked up how many times it was dropped in this movie.
I lauged so many times during this movie.
Oh
yeah. Seriously, you literally get your money's worth in this movie just with the front credits.
The opening.
You could leave after that and you would be good.
The opening. Here we go. All right, here we go.
Yeah, let's go. All right, we're going spoiler territory. Yeah.
If you're just now getting into the stream and didn't hear us beforehand, we're spoiling this movie. I have had bye, bye, bye stuck in my head all day long.
And I'm sitting there, just like, I can't help it. I'm sitting there
She's
bouncing.
dancing with it.
Yeah. The amount, I would say the amount of 30 to 40-year-old guys who probably ripped on that song back in the late 90s, early 2000s are now been like jamming this.
I mean, I know you guys follow me on Facebook. Yeah, exactly. I know you guys follow me on Facebook. Do you remember when I posted about like saying that I guess Bye 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 is okay now?
Yeah.
Now that it has been released 25, it had nothing to do with that film. It had nothing to do with it. I just happened to hear it and I was like, you know what? It's actually okay now. So actually hearing it as the intro to the film, I was like, you know what? It was almost like somebody was telling me something.
Suppose I've got to go back and watch it. I want to say it was X2 or whatever. There's apparently they say, I don't know if it's a deep cut, but like they're driving down the road and that Wolverine is driving and that song comes on and he changes the radio really quickly. So I don't know if that was intentional or not.
The Greatest Showman comes on.
Oh,
when he's okay, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let me tell you the joy that washed over me because it was so quick.
Yeah.
Whoa, and
then he slams his head back into the.
But yeah, like I said, that's one good thing about this movie. Also, like I said, it felt very 90s. All the licensed music made sense in the movie, and it worked great. But made me think. Sorry, I'm trying to. I just lost my train of thought. Blah 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 blah. I'll come back
really? Okay.
Yeah, Shane says it was X2 when they still got Scar after they escaped.
See, yeah,
okay.
Thanks, Shane.
But like the NSYNC changed their it's listing on YouTube, and I know on YouTube Music it says "Bye Bye Bye" from the Deadpool and Wolverine soundtrack.
Yeah, they changed
I would love to see their analytics after the movie, how it is bumped up.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I know. I've listened to it like 5 times since then. I'm driving down the road and I'm like, guys, I want to go back 15 years and tell myself that I'm listening to freaking NSYNC.
Yeah.
In my car in 2024.
I've always been good with NSYNC, but I mean, I guess that's okay. I'm supposed to be, but I've always been good with NSYNC.
Where I don't know. I guess I don't know. It's just maybe a guy thing of being of that era. It was just like automatically you had to rip on it, or you were just weird. And then I just kind of stuck with it.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, I listened to it again. I was like, this song's really not that bad.
Maybe think though. I know one thing I could say that makes maybe want to love this movie and appreciate Brock. And I don't know if it was probably the intentional, but this movie is essentially Marvel's Plane, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it really
Yes.
That's what makes it so great.
It really is.
Oh,
It is. Yes.
I never would have even thought about that. but
Especially
wow.
if you think of the ending, like the
Yeah.
ending of Plane, Trains, and Automobiles, and you think of this and the way it ended. Oh my God, it lines up. It's almost like they just took Planes, Trains, and Automobiles and then took that script and just ripped out all the stuff and then just put their movie in the exact same format.
But yeah, the opening's good, and like there's some people who are griping that it kind of diminished Logan's ending, but like it honors it more than anything because that's what it makes it so great.
The fact that
I disagree.
the fact that he dug him up and used his skeleton to fight and kill all the agents.
TVA.
That was so well done.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. you guys have probably been spoiled on this already, but Ryan Reynolds can't dance, so that wasn't him dancing.
Yeah,
Right,
that's Dance Pool as he's in the credits.
Yes, yes.
yeah.
So that wasn't Ryan Reynolds dancing. That was. I've actually
I knew
seen
he
like
had a- I
mocap
knew
of
he
where
had a
they
dance.
actually recorded the guy doing it.
He was
So-
good.
He
He
had
was
a
he was
good.
really good.
That whole, like I said, that opening sequence. Like I'm gonna say, this is like, let's see,
Would make
John Candy
Shane
fan.
said it
Yeah,
would make sense since Reynolds is a John Candy fan and Deadpool also reads the books Candy reading and that he's reading in Planes and Trains.
Yeah.
There we go.
okay.
but like it's like I for me personally, I like this. I love this movie more than I do Endgame. This is just my
Ooh.
personal
Wow.
like.
Look, I mean, I'm on the other side of the coin from Brock. I love all three of the Deadpool movies.
Yeah, they're all
I
good.
love them with a passion. I love them. So I knew I was going to go in loving this 100%. So I was just in there for the ride. It was like, man, I looked at that roller coaster and I knew I was going to love it. Now I'm just going to go ride it and love it. It was pretty much exactly what it was.
We are going to rewatch the first one and we are both going to sit down and watch the second one.
yeah.
Two
'Cause
is good. I don't think it is as good as the first one, but two's
It
good.
is not.
I just the jabs, all the jabs that it took at everything.
Saskatoon.
Oh my God.
I'm not going to say the rest of it. Saskatoon.
Yeah.
I want to know. I want to know how many people have Googled gubernatorial since then.
Say one more word.
All
Oh,
the little
just-
jabs that it took at the properties and
Oh,
The jab it took at Hugh
Yes.
when they talk about the suit, and he goes, "Oh, he's really let himself go since the divorce."
divorce.
Like, wow.
It's a good thing they're best friends.
Yeah.
What was it? Was it Minnesota Vikings? It's called like a
No,
Minnesota.
the St. Louis Rams.
St. Louis Rams is what it was. That's what it was.
No,
yeah.
no, no.
Los Angeles Rams.
Los
Yeah,
Angeles
Los
Rams.
Angeles,
Yes,
yeah.
excuse me. I'm still stuck in the St. Louis. Yeah.
right.
But yeah, like I said, I love it. Like I said, once the
Mascot
team,
for St. Louis Rams.
once they offered him to come join the sacred timeline, he looks at look at the camera. Suck it, Fox. I'm going to Disneyland.
When he ran up and he grabbed
Yeah,
the
yeah.
camera like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then knocks the mic over when he does it. I was like, and then he immediately turns around and there's nothing behind him. So it's
Yeah.
like that's so Deadpool, where it's like he just breaks the fourth wall, and then whatever he was interacting with just goes away.
Well, like, it's cool. And the crazy thing about like
Predator.
it's crazy thing about it. Much as Deadpool is.
Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, you're good. Like I said, the cool thing about this, even as funny as this movie is, that's why I say the Plane, Trains, and Automobile. There's a lot of heart in this movie.
There is.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh
no,
gosh.
seriously.
Well, the thing
yeah.
was like I think the reason that the second Deadpool movie isn't as good is because they went over the top with the whole heart thing. Like the first
Yeah.
one, it was a joke because it was billed as a romance, and then you had guys. I remember when I went and saw the first one, there were legitimately guys and women that believed that, and they brought their.
Well, they
dates.
marketed it because it came out around
Yes.
Valentine's Day.
It did,
Yes,
yeah.
they marketed it as a romance, like a love story, and then women, and then people were leaving while I was watching the movie because it wasn't what they wanted. They were leaving the freaking movie, and then the second movie came out, and they kind of marketed it kind of weird, a little bit more the same, more about family. It was
Yeah.
more about family, and I don't think it came off quite as well. And just the way that the movie carried, it didn't really have a really good. The theme was a bit predictable.
Yeah.
In the second one. But it still turned out really good because you guys saw, you haven't seen the second one, right? So
No.
you guys saw at the beginning where the second one ended, where he got Cable's little device to do time, and then he went through at the end of the second one and just reset everything.
Yeah, he adjusted stuff. Yeah.
And I don't know if you noticed, you haven't seen the second one, but there's a point in there where he kills himself. He kills himself. What do you call it? He undeads himself. That's what we're supposed to say on YouTube. He undeads himself. Unalive, yes. Unalive. He unalived himself while he was reading the script, and that was the Green Lantern script.
Yes.
So that he was preventing himself from taking the Green Lantern job. So like in that universe, he no longer is Green Lantern.
I think you'll like the second one though for Josh Brolin. Just he's great as Cable. So I mean he's dry. Don't mess around. You'll enjoy.
Juggernaut too.
Yeah.
Like a real nice, large Juggernaut. Yes.
Okay. We'll try to watch that in a few days.
Really nice Juggernaut.
So,
but yeah, like I said, like where we pick up at, we kind of got our general thoughts. But yeah,
the opening was great. I was hoping. I was told I wasn't told. I read that Patrick Stewart may show up as Professor X again, and was I kept looking for that throughout the entire movie and didn't happen. But that's fine because I knew Wesley was showing up. I had that spoiled for me. I knew Chris Evans was showing up.
Oh man, that sucks that you got spoiled.
No. Did not know that it was Fantastic Four. Chris Evans.
Human Torch.
That.
Yeah. Johnny. Yeah.
You know it was going to be Johnny.
I loved it when he shot his flames at Pyro, and I'm like, this isn't going to go well.
Yeah.
What's that, Jess?
I didn't have anything spoiled for me.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Cameos.
Oh wow, that was me the same way.
I think it's because that I have really gone through my Facebook and like unliked a lot of this pop culture stuff that I just don't even really pay attention to much, like on Facebook itself. But I had nothing spoiled for me. I did see a comment about Chris Evans in the movie, so I did kind of have that spoiled for me, but not what he was doing.
Yeah. Not what they thought he was going to be either.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
The one cameo that wasn't in it that I was hoping for, I was surprised they didn't try to. Since we talked about him earlier, I'm surprised they didn't try to drag Cage in as his Ghost Rider. That was one of them I was hoping to see.
You know what? I had that same thought because at one point when one of their vehicles catches fire and they're riding into it, I'm like, oh, are we about to see Ghost Rider? But no.
Gotcha.
Well, he was complaining. He's several points in there. He complained about the budget. It's like, do you know what he's doing to the budget?
Right.
He can die.
But let me tell you one good thing I could tell you. Like the last couple of years, like Disney and Marvel and Star Wars have all had the vehicle tie-ins. Like for Rogue One, they were posting the Rogue and all this stuff. I want you to know this movie I want to see the sales of the Honda Odyssey after this movie.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
and correct me if I'm wrong, but that's a vehicle that's built here.
I believe
in Alabama.
Is it built in Lincoln?
Yeah, I think the Honda Odyssey is built here.
okay. Well, that could be one Alabama tie that I didn't think about.
Yes.
The other Alabama tie,
gosh.
since for people who don't know, we put in the thumbnail for this live stream and.
They froze up on me.
There's an Alabama busted out laughing.
I mean, it was almost a scream laughter when it came on.
Oh.
Of course, Channing Tatum.
Oh yeah,
is from Coleman.
Yes,
from Coleman, Alabama, just north of Birmingham.
Yep.
And he shows up as Gambit.
My gosh.
And I totally forgot why it made her laugh so. And I'm like, why did you bust out laughing? Go ahead.
Because he was supposed to do a Gambit movie. He was championing for a Gambit movie, and it just never took off. And to see him come out in the full in the costume, the comic style Gambit.
Oh, it looks
costume,
so good.
I was like, are you? I mean, I was like, are you freaking kidding me? I was just dying. I was like,
She busted up
people
laughing.
probably thought I was a nutcase, but I was all about this cameo. I mean,
Oh,
and
it's
you mentioned
wonderful.
And you mentioned Nick Cage. It's just like when the Flash, you
Yeah.
see Nick Cage as Superman in
Yeah.
the in the Flash, and it's kind of like, wow, okay, things that didn't happen. Oh no,
I said, hang on just a minute. Who is your
Yes.
dialect coach? The Minions?
Yes.
here we go.
hey
There's
Chase,
Hey, Chase.
did we?
That's right here.
Yeah, we blipped, I think.
I think.
All right, so Chase says, I think what makes this movie so great is not only does it bring our favorite pool boy and Wolvie into the MCU, it paid tribute to the movies that paved the way
Yes.
for the modern superhero film
Yes,
and MCU.
agreed.
Yes.
Absolutely. And when Wesley showed up as Blade and Jennifer
Oh.
Garner as Elektra, I was like, oh my gosh.
Yes.
Oh, that really did my heart well.
Like
I
yeah,
mean-
like you said, like even like that. This is also one of my favorite jokes in the movie when they pull out the rocket launcher. Where'd you get that? The Punisher. Which one? There's been 5.
I
So
will
like
say,
even you go past the 80s, like I said, yeah, or the 90s with the Punisher with Dolph Lundgren. So I mean, there's acknowledgement of stuff beforehand. That's what I think, Chase. That's what I like this one so much more. This is, and it was especially the Fox universe.
Yeah.
and I will say Jennifer Garner
Looks
as
great.
this Elektra, she looks better now than she did before. She looks like
Just-
there you go.
He said also related to being depressed with life and working at a Kia dealership.
It felt like a Kia.
I love that there was a Drive Max, which was an obvious dig at CarMax.
Yeah. Or either Driver's Way and CarMax together,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. So was that Ray Park? I didn't look at the cast afterwards. Was
Yes,
that
it was Ray
as
Park.
Toad?
Yeah,
Yes,
everybody
beautiful.
pretty much
Everybody.
reprised their role. Like I can't think of her the actress's name, but Lady Deathstrike, she's in the background
Yes.
there at one
Yeah, I
point.
saw her.
Yeah,
Her-
everybody came back. The only one that was different was, I think, that I saw was Juggernaut, and that was actually the same guy who played the bigger version of Ryan Reynolds in was that movie that
Was he
did
not the
where-
original Juggernaut from X2?
No,
or X-
no, it was.
He looked like him.
He was in. What was the name of that Ryan Reynolds movie where he was like in the computer program?
Free guy.
Yeah, Free Guy.
Yes,
Free Guy.
You remember the bigger version of him at the end, toward the end of it, when he was trying to get to the program across the bridge? The bigger version of him, that was the same guy that played Juggernaut in this movie.
Okay.
Yeah, Fall Guys. Yes, that's it. Shane, Fall Guys. Yes,
Free Guy. It was
Free Guy?
No, it's
Free Guy. It's Free Guy.
Yeah.
Free guy.
was
yeah.
it Free Guy? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the game's like Free Guy. Anyway, but yeah, no, it was that guy.
Okay.
That played that. So that was like one of the only big differences. You know, we had the guy. We had pretty much all the characters were back, and I was actually amazed. And I mean, God, Wesley Snipes looks so good.
Oh yeah.
He still looks so freaking good at that part.
I really
Had
like
him a little bitty, white
gray.
down hair to show. I know that wasn't no gray. That was white.
Yeah. I liked when he was when they were in the car and they were talking about all the different versions of the characters. He's like, "There's only been one blade."
There's only been one. Yes.
They ain't
Never
no
gonna be.
Marshall Ali here, okay?
Oh my gosh! But going back to Channing as Gambit. So, who's your dialect coach? Was it your minions?
The minions. Hold up a minute. It's been a while since I watched Sling Blade, so. And I ain't gonna lie, a lot of the Channing Tatum Gambit quotes I cannot say on our stream because
No.
those things I laughed so hard.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think I came out my daddy.
I said, "What up, Doc?"
and it was good because even Deadpool was looking at him like,
Oh,
wow.
This was, and I hate that my short-term memory is so terrible. I can't remember the quotes, and this movie had so many great.
Just
Oh,
more the reason to
gosh.
go and watch it again, Brock.
Oh man.
I think I'm going to, and
No, there's got to be a rewatch because there's so much to take in, and the quotes that were throughout this movie were just so fantastic. The little,
This- it's a Deadpool movie, though. I mean, it's nonstop. You just memorable everything from
and like,
beginning to end.
and like I said, for the heart of it, like I said, like I said, everybody all the acting was great. Like, what is his name? Paradox. I love that he was that very over the top cliche, controlling villain.
The
Oh my
British bad
God.
guy.
But
And
he was
speaking of British bad guys too, Cassandra Nova.
yes,
Oh,
she
she
was
was
absolutely
great.
wonderful.
Oh my God, she's
Man,
like one of my favorite villains now. I mean, she was, and with her longer fingers and how she was just like.
But like the cool thing about it was like you could tell like well of course she looked like both James is it James McAvoy and Patrick
McAvoy.
Stewart.
Yes.
She was she's of course Charles's twin. But
Yeah.
on top of it, like the way her mannerisms and the way she spoke, like she was good. Like to me, like she was one of the best actors. I mean, everybody was great, but like she really stood out.
I was really worried she was going to get buried, but
No.
with the with the two mains being there, I was really worried that she was just going to be an accessory. No, she like really brought the villainy into it.
Yeah.
It was, she had a lot of gravity to her role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I kept trying to figure out. I was like, where have I seen this girl before? And she was actually cast to play. She played Princess Di in season 4 of The Crow.
Ah.
The Crown.
The Crown. I'm sorry.
Crown.
Crow.
The Crow, nice.
The Crow did have a TV series, but it didn't last 4 seasons. But you know,
It's okay.
Is that a character I don't remember?
I
Yeah.
goofed. The Crown.
It's all
I
good.
goofed.
It's all good.
And I'm such a big fan of the show. I feel embarrassed now. Thanks.
That's all right.
I just left off the N.
Yeah.
That's okay. I said something that might get us demonetized, so it's you're doing good.
but
Oh
But
my
yeah,
gosh.
I don't want to jump
love
all
where
over
she
the
lived.
place. Oh, go
Well,
ahead.
we're gonna jump all over the place anyway.
Yeah.
So
I love where she lived. You know,
Oh yes,
Paul Rudd,
yeah, yes.
giant
and
man.
then Deadpool literally references the exact Loki episode where he saw Aloth throw.
Yes. Hold on, we gotta get this chest made
Yes.
in Georgia.
Yes, there's Chase.
You're right.
Sure.
I
He
did
was.
not think about that. That is awesome.
He
Jay
was
says-
TBA.
Jay said, for our audio listeners, Jay says, remember a couple of years ago when I did TBA Deadpool at Dragon Con? I'm not saying I'm responsible, but you're welcome. Hashtag made in Georgia. That's right.
The only big question from this movie that I still want answered: why was Thor crying?
We're probably never going to see that either. You know, we're never going to see that. That's going to be the big joke. We'll never
Yes.
see that.
Oh,
But did it look like in the video that he was kind of dying in his arms? Maybe?
yeah.
I mean,
Oh, he references like, Thor was cradling me.
yeah.
You know,
Did you guys notice that the way that the
Yeah.
whole mask was pulled off was like Spider-Man?
Yeah, yeah.
It looked just like Spider-Man with the half mask thing.
and speaking of, somebody said that Ryan didn't even know one of the Deadpools in the big final scene was Tom Holland's brother.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Tom Holland's brother was one of the Deadpools, and Ryan didn't even know it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, and another one of the biggest stars. We haven't even mentioned one of the biggest stars of this movie was Dogpool.
Dog.
Yes.
pool.
Oh, man.
Mary
What an ugly
Poppins.
dog.
Yes, Mary Poppins.
Yeah. Ugly dog, but adorable at the same time. Just
Oh.
like
But she's
CM
like,
Punk
yeah,
dog.
she's a dog that's like you would see, and you would probably never adopt her because she's so ugly. But this dog she goes beyond that to where she's like, she's so incredibly ugly that she is adorable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it looks like the dog version of Deadpool. That's
Yes.
it. You know.
And then him talking and holding her right next to
Yes.
his face, and she's like licking in his mouth. And it was-
Yeah.
I was like-
It just continues on.
and he just doesn't care. He's like, I am just attached to this dog now. And the thing is yeah, it's weird to say, but like anybody who has dogs, you've probably done something similar to that before, or had a dog like lick you in the mouth or
Yeah.
something. And it's not great. But seeing Deadpool just repeatedly letting
Yeah.
her do that, it was like, that's just such a Deadpool thing.
My favorite thing is like a dog owner is when they're going to leave and take the Honda Odyssey, and of course they have to get the dog back to Nice Pool, and he goes to run with her.
Yes. the cord was too thick. It was
Yeah.
too dense. The cord was too dense. I'm sorry, girl. The cord was too dense.
But here's what we were talking about cameos, so we got to go with all this. The Wolverine variants.
Oh,
Yes.
loved
Okay. Oh,
it.
okay. Yeah.
On top of that,
Loved-
being played with the power of love going in the background, I figured
Yeah.
that would have rung a bell with you
What-
for sure.
Oh,
What
awesome.
was
Yeah.
the reality they went to where Wolverine was on a X and there was nothing but human skulls?
It's an iconic cover where Wolverine is on an X crucifix. It's an iconic cover from like the
okay.
80s and 90s.
Yeah, those are all
Okay.
from comics.
The that one and the one-handed Wolverine that's just got the big rock star hair. That's Age of Apocalypse Wolverine.
I had seen that before. Yeah, but I had never seen the other one where it was just a big pile of bones. I was like,
Yeah.
this looks like a heavy metal
yeah.
thing.
And then-
I like this.
And then the eye patch. That's Patch. They have a series where it's him and the Hulk has a more Gray Hulk, a more level-headed character. He's called Joe Fixit. That's kind of like a thing they did. Uncanny X-Men 251. See, there's Shane with the knowledge. There we go.
There we go.
But yeah, like I said, it started off with a bell with comic accurate height Wolverine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So
laugh so hard.
precious.
Yes.
I elbowed
Short
Jess.
king.
And I'm like, it's your height.
It's me.
I was hoping we were going to get some more celebrity cameos than the one we got.
Okay. Yeah.
Because
So-
like there's the other two actors that always been like people have rumored has been Daniel Radcliffe and Ty Egerton.
But Calverine.
Yes, Calverine. We'll treat you better than those guys down the street.
And they actually mentioned Batman in the movie once.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's like Batman, but he can actually turn his neck.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. When he put the because
Yes, with the cowl on.
Oh,
And I mean, and speaking of that, that was probably one of the best parts of this movie was we actually not only did we get to see Wolverine in the yellow and blue, but we actually got to see him with the cowl on, and it looked phenomenal.
Yeah.
well, the great thing also that he was wearing, reason why he kept his uniform on was even it added to the depth
Yes.
of his character. A lot of
Yes.
people he said he was the worst Wolverine, and a lot of people say he's technically a lot of people want to say he's the Wolverine from the Wolverine movie because
Yeah.
it's the lowest rated of his movies where he's played Wolverine.
Yeah, that was the whole ending scene where they were going through all the Deadpools, all the different Deadpool variants, and especially when they got on the bus.
Yes.
And he was just, I was like, this is the R-rated stuff that I want to see right here. Deadpool and Wolverine absolutely wrecking through people on a bus.
I love
and then
that
he
it's a-
jumps out, and then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
all the Deadpools start getting up again because
Yeah.
the
Well,
little
he-
baby Deadpool is laughing, and he turns around, and all the Deadpools are getting up.
I love that was one continuous shot.
Yes.
That was what made it so cool.
And you know why they did that? That was definitely a adage back to Daredevil, because Daredevil made that famous with doing that
Yeah.
one continuous hallway shot. And then and speaking of the cowl, I think that's probably a lot of the reason that you see a lot more like heroes and things being okay with cowls is because we had the whole Netflix series as well that they just made that work, and they made because if you like all the cowls that you see now that are in any of the movies, they look like versions of what Daredevil wore. It looks great. So yeah. Nope.
And Chase says Rob. I'm gonna butcher that last
Oh.
name.
McElhenney.
Yeah, Rob McElhenney from Always Sunny in Philadelphia co-owns the soccer team with Reynolds. He shot a scene with an armored TVA Wolverine variant, but it didn't make it in. But you can find pictures of it online. Okay.
Oh, yeah, maybe think another thing they brought to life that was so awesome was them bringing to life the cover of the black and tan, the
Yes.
tan Wolverine cover with the Hulk.
Yeah.
That was so cool to see that come to life. Like that was.
And then
Like,
he
that's-
tries to do his own version of the Loki speech.
Yeah, yes.
Smack.
Oh, even with that, his speeches from other things, his Furiosa speech.
Yes. Oh my God. Just lobs Sabretooth's head off and then does the Furiosa. I am the Furiosa. He actually said Furiosa, and I was like, can you actually say that? But I guess they can.
Yeah.
It's like, we would say this is like Mad Max, but then we might get in trouble from the people down the street. You know?
It's like that's a cool thing. Like on top of it, like the movie's really well shot. Like one of the best sight gags in the movie is great shot is after they fought each other in the van, and then they've both passed out, and it cuts to Wolverine passed out and Deadpool wrapped in seatbelts.
In the seatbelts.
There was enough. That's just another adage to the Honda Odyssey, because the amount of seatbelts they cut through before that, there was still enough seatbelt left over to wrap him up.
See, that's the Honda Odyssey. Also has one of my favorite quotes we cannot say on stream. I take it back. The Honda Odyssey.
One of the biggest rolling jokes that I loved in there was at the very beginning when they mentioned there was one particular drug that they were not allowed to mention by Disney, but they mentioned it over and over throughout the entire film.
Yeah.
Feige said we cannot mention that. And they've got a list
do it. They
of
can
all the
mention
variants.
They can do it. Yes.
Yes.
Do you want to build a snowman?
Yes. Yeah, Blind Owl. She's funny.
And he stops him at one point. He's like, "You call her Blind Owl?" Well, she's
blind.
Owl and she's blind.
Yeah.
Speaking of my one of my favorite lines that I laughed so hard at was at the end when they have stopped
Cassandra Nova.
Yeah. They've stopped and what the TVA comes in like, I want to show you something. I want to show you something big.
Oh yeah.
I thought Brock was going to.
I could not stop laughing.
I didn't think he was going to stop.
This makes me so happy you like this movie. I figured you like there's a lot of blue humor in it, but it is just it's so funny, and oh man, I can rant and rave. Like I said,
I mean,
the Scoutmaster Kevin line absolutely owned me because of all the controversy with the Boy Scouts.
Oh yeah,
the Scouts now.
I think I'm the same way. I never stopped laughing after that. I was to the end of the movie. I was like that joke right there caps off this whole movie.
Yeah,
that's all we needed. You can stop it right now, and it was good. But and then when they did the credits, they did the montage. Of
that was so good.
And the thing is before I watched this movie, I actually forced myself to go back and watch X-Men Origins.
Yeah,
Wolverine, which that movie was. Yeah. That was that movie,
Yeah.
And I was one of the ones who actually saw. I will fully admit, I was one of the ones that saw the leaked copy beforehand, before they actually finished all the special effects. And that's when everybody was going, "This movie is going to be horrible," because you could tell beforehand, the one that released online. And I watched it, and I was like, even then, we could all tell that Ryan Reynolds, if he ever got to actually do Deadpool right, that he was going to do Deadpool right, because that guy is Deadpool.
Yeah,
it's like it's almost like they wrote it with the comics with him in mind. That it fits his personality. It's almost like he can just go out and just be himself.
Yeah. Well, like even before the movies was made, Deadpool referenced. He said, "If they ever made a movie, I want Ryan Reynolds to play me." That's what they always wanted to do. It was,
Oh, and he talked about when I was at my work conference in June, and Ryan was the keynote speaker, and he talked about going and doing Origins, and how Hugh, that's where he first met Hugh, and they struck up their friendship. There was something that he had an idea about, and he's like, I was really a young actor at the time, and he said I had no credibility whatsoever. I was just there and was getting to play this part. And he said we had finished shooting for the day. We had been there for 14 hours or so, and we had finished shooting, and everybody was still hanging around but getting ready to leave the set for the day. And he said I went over to Hugh, and he said I had this idea for an elevator scene. He said I had an idea to do something in this, and he said Hugh went, "That's fantastic." And he said Hugh got everybody back, and they shot that scene and put it into the movie. And he said that's just the type of guy Hugh is. And
I mean, as I remember, that was like the most we really got of Deadpool, really, was that elevator scene. I mean, we did get a little bit more, but I mean, that was probably that was the scene that you realize he's Deadpool. He really is Deadpool. So,
but to take away his mouth in that movie, that's the that was the. I'm glad they got, even though I hated the first movie when I first saw it, I'm glad they gave him that freedom to come back and play that character.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um,
And on another something, I don't know, that just made me think of this, but the fact that Deadpool kept referencing, yeah, Disney's going to make him do this until he's 90.
Yeah.
Till he's 90.
He referenced that like 3 times in the movie after he said it the first time.
Right.
And it was like, I would have loved it if you had just, every time he said it, he would have been like, more like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So now it's going to be a competition. Who gets paid more, Hugh Jackman or Robert Downey Jr.?
Well, it's like in the first part where he's sitting there with a skeleton and he was like, there's nothing that'll bring me back faster than a big bag of Marvel cash.
Money, yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about the Captain America trailer and then the whole thing at SCCC, and then even Harrison Ford was like, that money, that's totally what'll make me Hulk out. Everybody likes that Marvel cash.
Yeah.
When Marvel plops down a Scrooge McDuck vault full of cash for you, that's it. You'll do anything.
Yeah.
At that point.
Well, see, the cool thing about this, like, it's also the movie's making a ton of money, and like even Deadpool references, he goes, "You're joining us kind of at a downtime,"
Right.
I think this movie proves make the movies people want rather than what what you want to progress to make something want. Why waste the money? You know what I mean?
What gets me though is, let's just kind of roll back the clock, and obviously we've already talked about Wesley Snipes being in this a little bit.
Yeah.
And the thing is the studios, one of the reasons that they didn't do this to begin with was the studios have been deathly afraid. Fox was deathly afraid of doing an R-rated movie.
Yeah.
They did not want to do it, except for the fact that the character that started, that basically got Marvel on the map, Blade, his movie was an R-rated movie.
Oh, that movie's so good still.
Yeah. Blade's
I watched it like 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, this movie still holds up. It is perfect. Oh, it's a beautiful movie.
Thanks to this movie, I'm about to do a rewatch of it, Logan, and a lot of the Fox movies.
Same.
But how awesome was it that the 21st Century Fox logo was in that was good.
I have a feeling there are things in the void that I didn't notice even in my 2 viewings of it that people have probably gone online and pointed out.
Oh yeah,
just the same as when we had the void in Loki and people were like freeze framing it and like picking things out. I'm sure that once this comes out, people will find even more stuff that was inserted in there that we didn't see.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I love the Stan Lee steamer sign.
Oh yes, that was one of the best cameos. That and the Rob Rearfield's Just Feet. That's another great one.
I wonder if there's any. I wonder if there's any truth to the whole thing where they're talking about from now on out, instead of Stan Lee cameos, they were going to have Deadpool cameos, like Deadpool coming in and doing stuff in movies. Instead of having, which would be perfect, because if he just came in for like half a second and broke the fourth wall and then just left, that would be amazing.
The proposal.
Yeah. He's like, and then when he turns to the camera and says, "Hey, we're almost done, folks."
Yeah. I absolutely love this movie. Like I said, it's because, like I said, like Chase said, that was my first, like I said, outside the old one, but like Blade and like I said, we were there at the beginning with Blade and X-Men.
Yeah.
It's to see what it's become. It's because I think Blade and X-Men, like Marvel Comics, was about to go out of business.
Yes.
Yeah. And now that Wesley Snipes is back, he is now the longest running MCU actor.
Yeah,
or Marvel actor, I should say. Not
MCU,
MCU,
officially now, because everybody thought it was going to be
by 1 year.
Yeah,
by 1 year. So it's him and then Hugh Jackman, because it used to be Hugh Jackman was the longest running continuous. So that's huge, man.
That was another great joke about to Electra about sorry about Daredevil.
Yeah, right.
That's all right.
Yeah. I really liked how personal some of the jabs got with people, and just the jabs at the other, the movies and things that have, over the years and things like that. So I enjoyed all that. I got a really good kick out of that too.
Yeah, I thought of you for Brock when I saw the Scarlet Witch statue there for you in their little headquarters there.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yep.
I got a little anxious. I'm like, oh, is she going to show up? Is she going to show up? But no. So Chase says Blade 3, one of the guys told Ryan if they ever do a Deadpool movie, he should play him. So he read lines with Deadpool describing what he looked like. Does Ryan Reynolds cross with a sharp egg?
Well, they definitely made that happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Ryan Reynolds has always, anytime he does anything action, has always sounded like what I thought Deadpool would be.
Mhm.
He's always been that way. So it's like when he played Deadpool in the Origins movie, it was like, is this really all we're ever going to get of Deadpool?
Yeah.
This is just sad. And I think everybody felt sad because of that.
Yeah.
Especially when they, like you mentioned earlier, when they, made
him
him.
out.
It's like, that must be the only way they could shut you up.
Oh, not to jump all over too much, but with all the Deadpools coming out there at the end, I was like,
Yes.
oh, look, it's Dragon Con.
Yeah.
Yes.
I had that thought too.
Yep,
I thought
yep.
that, and I'm like, this year is going to be.
So have you seen
worse.
all the Deadpools that have been identified? Of course, Lady
Mm-hmm.
Pool is Blake Lively.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Kid Pool is one of his children.
Yeah.
I
And
saw
Baby
that.
Deadpool is another one of his children.
Yeah.
Did you pick up on Cowboy Deadpool?
Yes.
Okay. And then,
Didn't know who it was though.
huh?
I saw the character, but didn't pick up on
Yeah,
who
who-
it was.
Oh, that's Matthew McConaughey.
Oh my God, really?
Is it
Yes.
seriously?
I don't know if it's
What?
him in the suit, but that's his voice. And
I
then
didn't pick up on that.
okay.
and then
So-
Nathan-
Oh my gosh.
and Nathan Fillion was Headpool.
Oh, that's
Nice.
awesome.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Matthew McConaughey. Yep.
Yeah.
Huh. All right.
That's
Man.
awesome.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that just makes it even better now because I mean he
Yeah.
did have quite a few speaking parts on there. So
Mhm.
Yeah, that was of course when we think with all that, of course, the use of Like a Prayer.
Yes.
I
Yes.
saw a great interview of Ryan talking about how he carried a rough cut of that, showing that how they were going to use the song in the movie to Madonna. Because he was talking, because I don't know how to address her. Do I address her as Miss Madonna or this or Ma? They were explaining it to her, but like that, because like that's the first time that song's ever been licensed for a movie or any kind of media.
yeah, because he had to talk to her about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a two LP vinyl version of the soundtrack that's out that I'm going to get.
Yes. The
Apparent-
soundtrack's wonderful.
Yeah, the
soundtrack.
music's great, but
Yeah.
apparently, from what I read today, and I have not looked at the track listing, but I read somewhere today that song is not on the soundtrack.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
Not even
man.
not even the big epic version at the end.
yeah, I don't think so. I can look it up while we're. While we're
I honestly
chit-chatting.
never thought that we would ever get a soundtrack that was better than the original Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack.
This one's up
And
there.
This
Yeah,
one is
this-
up there. It's if not better, it's up there.
Especially them fighting to "You're the One I Want"
Yes.
in the van.
that whole van sequence. My goodness.
Oh, it's a
Oh.
great.
And I love how he changed his mind about the Honda Odyssey just by the fact that it held up so well.
and- oh, it was Never Been Kissed. Okay, thank
Yeah.
you for calling me out there,
It's-
Katie. I
It's
thought
been a
it
while
was never.
since I've seen
yeah.
that. So yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Keep me on the straight and narrow, Katie. Thank you.
All right,
That's
really
go ahead.
quickly, the track listing for the vinyl, the 2 LP vinyl soundtrack. Only You by the Platters, Bye Bye
Yeah.
Bye from NSYNC, Angel of the Morning,
Mm-hmm.
Slash, Glamorous, Iris,
hmm
Power of Love, and
Goo Goo
I'm
Dolls.
a Rambling Man. You Belong to Me, from Patsy Cline, Lady in Red,
hmm
and and this is when this is
yeah.
when Jess elbowed me,
Mhm.
and I just got stupid happy. Was I'm With You from Avril Lavigne.
yeah.
Yep.
The Greatest Show is on the soundtrack.
Yep. And not only that, it's the version that Hugh Jackman is singing.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it's
performed
not the
by Hugh
Panic
and-
at the Disco version.
Right. You're the One That I Want. I'll Be Seeing You. Make Me Lose Control.
Mhm.
You're All I Need to Get By. Good Riddance, and then LFG, the theme, which was from Rob Simonson, who did the Ghostbusters Afterlife score.
Yes.
So yeah,
But no Like a Prayer.
no Like a Prayer. Madonna wouldn't let that one go in the soundtrack.
That's unfortunate, but I'm glad that we got it in the movie because that was the
Yeah.
perfect song for that. It worked.
was.
And I mean, Ryan Reynolds was talking about. He's like, I've literally had this song stuck in my head. He's like, this is the song it had to be. Though I had to go and talk to her.
You'll just have to build your little playlist onto your music platform, your Apple
Yeah.
Music or your Spotify.
You don't even have to
but
do that. You can do
put like a
Spotify.
prayer in there.
Yeah, it's all.
Yeah.
They've already got ones. They basically just took the full soundtrack and just added like a prayer to the end of it. So
Right.
Go to Napster or LimeWire.
let's not talk Napster. I am still sore at Metallica for getting me kicked off Napster. Jerks. And I didn't even have the full Metallica songs. All I had was when they were doing the symphony orchestra and they did the thing Star Wars.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even a Metallica song and I got kicked out. You know what? Don't mention Napster.
Oh, you're right.
I'll
Yeah,
remember.
Hell's Bells got left
yeah,
off.
Hell's
Yeah.
Bells is part of that. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Shane, you're right. Yeah, AC/DC's not on there.
Which that felt good for that sequence too. Yeah,
It did.
Yeah.
All the music. Yeah, all the music is perfect.
It fit. It absolutely fit wherever it was used in this movie. It was perfect. Perfectly used.
Yeah, I'm really glad that Marvel and Disney let Ryan do this movie.
Oh man.
I was not going to see it, but
I was
then-
worried.
Yeah, I was hoping.
No, I wasn't worried that you weren't going to say. I was worried that Disney wasn't going to let him do it full on, and I was blown away at just how far they let him go with that.
Oh,
Yeah.
they let them
Like
run with it.
mentioning necrophilia, and I was like, there are some words there. It's like you don't take kids to this ever.
Yeah.
Sorry, YouTube. I don't know if that's one of YouTube's no words.
Look, YouTube, don't cancel the channel. Just cancel me, okay? You can demonetize me. All right.
I can think of a word we could say that I learned from that movie that won't get us in trouble. Cinnamon ring.
I got another word. Saskatoon.
Oh gosh.
Can't say the rest of the quote, but just Saskatoon.
No.
Oh,
Okay.
100%.
All right, Chase says, serious question. Jackson and Reynolds have recently said in interviews that they'd like to do another with Tom Holland's Spidey. Would y'all like to see
Are
that?
you
Because
kidding
basically
me?
Tom's come in.
Yes.
I thought he was already
Absolutely.
spoiling it, going.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The biggest party on that's going to be if Sony wants to play.
Yeah.
True.
Hey, and seeing the money that this is raking in,
They'd be
Sony,
crazy. not to.
Sony will play.
Sony likes Marvel cash.
Yeah.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll probably boil down to they'll let them make the movie, but Sony does the distribution rights. Therefore, they'll get the big cash in. It'll just be how it works. It'll probably be how they've done Spider-Man, where Sony gets the distribution rights, but then Marvel Disney gets all the merchandise type thing.
I mean, look, having Tom Holland there will be one thing, but having Zendaya there for her part as MJ and having her play off of Deadpool, oh my God, would be like the best. And then Tom Holland, his Peter Parker character would just kind of be like confused, like yeah, because he would just be confused the entire time.
I will need me a Toby cameo though. Just if anything,
Oh my
is a
gosh,
pizza
yes.
delivery guy or something,
Yeah.
Yes, Chase, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh yeah. No, that's
And- And I love the fact that Hugh is willing to go along with this, because after Logan wrapped, he was like, I'm not doing Wolverine anymore because he said, I'm getting older. It's hard to get in shape. And then you saw the shape he got into. for
Yes.
this. Good night.
I mean, if that's hard, if that is what it means by boy, it's hard to get in shape. I mean,
You
wow.
know, man, the first time we saw Hugh Jackman, and they talked about how he came on, and then, he came fresh off stage and stage production, and then went in there, and then the first time we see Wolverine, we're like, he's kind of small for Wolverine. He's really not that big. And as he progressively, every time he played Wolverine, he just got more
bigger.
and more jacked. He got to be the Jack Man.
Yeah, Jack, man.
Made me think. I don't know if you noticed a couple things. I noticed some of the shots where him and Deadpool were together. I think they did that on purpose for perspective, but they did it because Hugh Jackman is a tall man too. I think, but there's a few perspective shots where I think they've got it where Deadpool looks taller than him, especially before the big battle in the street there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just love that he, the whole time we saw him in the costume, and then he waits to that point and he just pulls my. And as soon as he
Yes.
did that, I was like, "Oh my God, we're gonna see it! We're gonna see it!
Yes.
We're gonna see it! There it goes!" Because you never know what they're gonna put. We kind of assumed that we were gonna see that, right? But
Yeah.
you never know what they put in. Sometimes they put it in marketing, and you never see it in the movie because they got a cut. and I was like, oh my God, we're actually going to see it. And then you get to see close-ups of the two of together with their cow.
Yeah.
This is
He's
it.
like,
This is
wow, you're really
everything.
saving the special stuff, huh?
Yeah.
and then he kept it on. He
Yeah.
kept it on. Even after his whole
Yeah.
top blew off.
I love
He
it.
still
that
kept the cowl on. And I'm sitting there thinking, how did that attach in the back?
Yeah.
Did it blow the attachment off?
We got
Anyway.
to see it. That's what
I think
that was a great.
I think it was tucked down in his collar because of
Yeah.
how
Oh,
it was
okay.
coming up when they showed him from the back. So
Man,
My gosh.
yes.
I'm
like I
so
said,
glad that you enjoyed that, Brock.
Yeah,
Oh my
I
God.
figured you would, much as you love Hugh Jackman, because like I said, there's a couple of times like he is acting his butt off, like the whole scene where he's recreating why he after giving the reason why he's the terrible alcoholic and give up on life like he was. And like when Daphne tries to stop him, she's like, no, let me say it. I need to say this.
Yeah.
It's a tough moment.
And yes, by the way, it is the Honda Odyssey van is the one that is manufactured in Lincoln, Alabama. So
That's right.
Going back to it, that was another great joke from the band battle where you see the coexist sticker getting covered in blood as it's
Yes.
going on. That's another one of my favorite sight gags from that movie.
And I love that Nice Pool. Nice Pool
Yes.
was the only one there that didn't have regenerative
Yes.
capabilities.
Yeah.
He was like, you gotta regenerate?
Oh, it's gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay.
It's in his head. He's
Yeah.
like,
And then he gets him over there.
Yes,
and,
he's-
then Wolverine looks at him and he says, for straight up murder?
yeah. Oh, it's okay. We'll just have these to remember him by.
Gold-plated pistoleros.
Yes.
yeah. From the opening sequence, I went in going, I really don't want to sit through all the F-bombs. I really didn't want to do it. But as soon as the whole explanation started, how are we going to honor Logan's memory through this? No, we're not.
we're not.
Yeah.
And from that sequence, from the credits on, I was like, the credits hooked me.
Yeah.
Hit that fight with Wolverine's skeleton.
Yes.
That hooked me so hard. And
He
I'm
never
like,
used
okay.
his weapons. He
Yeah.
told him,
Yep.
I'm not going to use
Yeah.
my weapons.
Yep.
Speaking
That-
of credits, what do you think about that post-credit scene?
Well, he actually,
We can't say
Yeah.
anything.
you can't say any of that.
I love how the Boston comes out of
Oh.
there when he is going through it.
Yes. Very.
The fact that Chris Evans said every bit of that as
Yeah.
quickly as he did in one take was so funny.
Oh,
Do you know how many times they probably had to do that over?
Oh.
Because
I'm
people
sure.
were laughing so hard.
And it's just funny because I was like, oh, Cap, language.
yeah. That's that's what I love. He does it's the superhero pose. Oh, he's gonna say it. He's gonna say it.
And the fact that they had the Fantastic Four car.
Yes.
Yes.
It's like they've got everything in this stuff that we've never seen before.
Was that-
Stuff that we have.
Was that the big fancy car? Wasn't that Sebastian Shaw's car from I'm talking about the older style with the flames on the side that I think Pyro's driving? Wasn't that supposed to be his car from First
You talking about the
Class?
one that had the big vein on the top of it that stuck up?
It was like the older car. It looked very similar. I don't know if that's what it was. I gotta rewatch the movie when I can. But that was one
Red
of the
Skulls.
things. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what Shane's saying.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I will go back and see this movie.
Good.
Well,
100%.
this movie is built for that. They want
Yeah.
you to go back and see it because you have to take it all in.
I wasn't proven wrong with how crude, vulgar, and violent it was,
Oh, God, no.
but I was proven dead wrong about not enjoying it.
Well,
This movie was so fun.
that's it. It's fun. Mm-hmm.
Did this movie actually top Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back for the amount of like F-bombs?
Oh, I
I
have
don't
no
know.
idea.
I don't know
Because I know
There's
that
a-
one held the record for a while. I don't know if it was still the record holder, but
It might be
Yeah.
the most profitable movie with F bombs.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, according to that meme, and since it's a meme, I don't know if it's true or not, but 118 is what I saw. And
That's nuts.
Yeah, and
It felt like it was way more than that, honestly.
And I'm glad one of the F-bombs was saved for Blade too.
Actually, they say, let's see. Okay, so Straight Outta Compton says it has 392.
Woo!
okay,
Okay, never mind.
but that's a great movie too.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
That
That's
is
a really good movie.
Deadpool and Wolverine 116. Wolf of
Yeah.
Wall Street
Oh yeah.
435.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just
Well,
I
you
just
know-
kind of
The thing about this movie that I liked, let's do Chase's thing here.
Jay says in the post-credits scene, it also solved a plot hole because when Deadpool said the quote, I was like, "She's Professor X's brother, so she shouldn't know if he's lying."
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But she has to. I think she has to. Well, he would have found out because she has to physically touch him. She can't.
Yes.
I think. Yeah.
because Charles doesn't have to touch them.
Yeah.
Swearing at the movie. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that makes sense. Trailer Park Boys, guys. Yeah. Okay.
Well,
935.
If you've ever seen the movie, that's pretty much the only word they say in the movie.
Okay,
It's-
I was
yeah,
gonna say.
it's-
Then
it's
I will
nuts.
never see that movie. I like I said, I'm a little bit of a prude when it comes. I can deal with it if the word is warranted, but saying it just to say it is turns me off very quickly.
But the thing
There-
is, in this movie, they make it obvious that this is just how Deadpool talks. It's like, but he makes it work.
Yeah.
He does
Yeah.
overuse it, but it's like this is just how Deadpool is.
Yeah.
This movie did not offend me at all with the use. I was going in. I mean, you have to go in knowing that this is coming, and I
Yeah.
went in with that mindset, and the way everything was worked in, I'm like, okay. As much as I hate the word, their use of it in this movie didn't offend me at all.
If this
And
had been the first
that's-
Deadpool movie, it would have messed with you. I bet.
Probably. And I think that's for prudes like me.
Yes.
That's a testament to how fun this movie is.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that you really enjoyed it.
did.
I knew going in I was going to enjoy it. The viral marketing that led up to this, it's just no way. I'm a huge Deadpool fan. And then of course just pulling Wolverine in, and then everything that because we were being teased of cameos, and then it fulfilled it. I mean, there were some cameos that I wish that that had been there, like we had talked about, Professor X,
Yeah,
potentially.
I was hoping he'd been in there.
But that's all right. We got what we got, and it was great. They made it work.
They said Brock hating the F-bomb makes it amazing we are friends and have been for so long because
I mean, Chase, honestly, he wouldn't be my friend either. So
here's the thing is my love for you guys and my love for people transcends the language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
speaking of friends, we got to talk about the most impactful friend of Deadpool. Every Deadpool has a Peter.
Oh,
did you guys notice?
when they went nuts about
Yes.
And I mean, did you guys notice when he came up on the bike just how
That was his
Endowed he
fanny pack.
is?
That was his fanny pack.
was it his fanny pack?
It's his fanny pack. See,
It
that's
didn't
what-
look like his fanny
Yeah.
pack.
I didn't pay attention.
I didn't catch that.
my
no.
favorite
I
of that
didn't-
is the one Deadpool that put his hand in his mouth.
Yes. I was like, this has got to be the worst Deadpool coming up here. Then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
you're like, holy crap, it's Peter.
Yeah.
Every Peter is legend. Every Deadpool's
Yeah.
got a Peter.
Well, see, that's what. See, I hate you haven't seen. That'd be one of the things you're going to enjoy about Deadpool 2, because that's where Peter comes into play.
Yes.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
Was
so,
he not in
yeah.
the first one?
X-Force.
Because I was like,
No.
I remembered him.
No.
No.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
No,
when
no,
they were
no,
auditioning for X Forces, he asked them, "What's your special powers?" "I'm diabetic."
Well, that's my guy.
Or he has mutant powers or something like that. But yeah, I'm diabetic.
Okay.
Yeah, he was basically the only normal guy there.
Yeah.
And by the way, quite a few, and just this is a bit of a spoiler for 2, but like since you haven't seen it, but quite a few of those guys that are in his group in the photo,
Right.
those are members of X-Force.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was
So-
figuring as much.
There's
Yeah.
a good cameo in it. I don't want to ruin for you. When you see
Okay.
it, if you miss it, I'll.
Oh no, yeah, whenever you don't mind the invisible guy.
Huh? Yeah.
The Invisible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't
Yeah.
ruin that one. That's good.
Yeah, he saw the ad. He just thought it looked exciting. Yes.
Yeah.
Peter's wonderful. Like that. That would be a fun costume for someone with a good mustache.
Yes. You just do. Yeah, and you can get away. You can do the Deadpool.
Yeah.
And you could just get away with just kind of having the middle-aged man belly, you know.
That's another great thing Peter does in the movie. He goes, I had a guy who went through a midlife crisis where got his pierced his head.
Yes. And he actually describes what he had done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Brock was going, oh my God. And then he shows it.
Yeah. I ignored it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Man.
Well, goodness. Is there anything else we want to cover on this? I know we're going to have to.
Maybe one other thing I thought was funny. It was in the marketing, but I never saw it in the movie. I guess it got cut. But when they're sitting at the diner, there's a great line where they were asking, Wolverine asked him, because can't you eat with your mask on? He goes, well, it's hard for me to eat with my mask on. He goes, well, it's hard for me to eat with it off. It was kind of
I remember that.
Yeah.
The Avengers discovered shawarma.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then he's like enjoying the shawarma, and then he just throws it down as soon as he sees Dogpool.
Yes. Mary Poppins.
Oh, me. Yeah. This was a delightful movie.
I'm so happy you loved
movie.
it. I figured you would, but I'm glad to know that you genuinely love it. That's awesome.
This would make me so happy if this movie would top the box office gain from Endgame.
Yeah.
If they would actually make more money than Endgame on an R-rated movie, that would be so funny.
That would even add to the
take some
legend of
work.
it. Yeah.
It would. I mean, yeah, because Endgame
Yeah.
made a ton of money, but man, that would be so incredible, and it would just show them like it's okay. By the way, the people that are going and seeing this are adults. Most of us are, and we're the ones who pay to go to these things and bring kids to come and see the appropriate ones. So
Yeah.
it's okay to make it appropriate for us.
Yeah.
We can leave the kids at home or something, you know.
On our row, there was, what was he, 5 or 6 maybe?
There had to be, I think, about a 6-year-old
Yeah.
and an 8-year-old.
Wow.
On
Yeah.
our row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just looked at
mean,
the
hey,
parents
you
as we
raise your
walked
kids
past
how
them.
you raise your kids how you want to, but like I was not going to carry my 9-year-old son. That's just
No.
me.
Yeah.
Just because there's a couple things I don't want to explain yet.
Right.
Yeah. My
He'll.
son-
You didn't want to explain the titanium part.
I didn't want to explain the smash with the Hulk hands. I didn't feel like explaining
That
that.
was so funny. And then he's explaining it to
Yes.
us.
Yeah. Yeah. My son it will be 16 soon. And yeah, I told Jess, I'm like, well, he can go see it when he's 25 and out of the house.
It's like,
I'm not.
Or
doing
he
it.
can sneak in and see it on his own if he wants
Yes.
to,
Oh,
and not tell
oh,
me about it.
Oh, the thing is, he would blab. Yeah. He would.
Yeah.
Yeah. He would fess up.
Dad, what's masturbating?
we're going to find out what the no words on YouTube are.
I done told you, can't demonetize me.
Anyway.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. Don't
Yeah.
want to explain that either.
So, all right, we're gonna.
Jeez.
Okay.
I figured you would. I'm not surprised. 100% not surprised.
So
Chase
Chase,
bought some
tell us how
Hulk
that
cans right
went.
after the movie. Chase had
How
a
how they-
Hulk cans right after the movie for reasons.
For reasons.
How'd that go,
That's
Chase?
gonna wrap up the comments
Yeah.
on the screen.
Yes,
tonight.
there's no. Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah.
Well,
No more comments for Chase. Chase is on timeout now.
No,
No.
no, we actually have to go. Jess has
Yeah.
actually got to do something in just a bit. So, well, man, if you've enjoyed being with us tonight and going through this and learning all kinds of things, they're pretty good. All right. So if you've enjoyed it, join us on social media. You can find us everywhere at Bama Geeks. If you want to jump in on some extra content, extra episodes, just join the Facebook community. Wait, no, the Patreon. Join Patreon
Yeah,
for
there
the
you go.
Yes.
for the extra episodes that we do for our Patreon and our YouTube members. Patreon.com/Bama Geeks, or hit the join button below the video on our YouTube channel. If you want to join us on Facebook, we've got a Facebook group, the Bama Geeks Front Porch, where we like to sit a spell and chit chat with everybody. I know that we've got to get going. Jess, do you have anything for Bama-splaining tonight?
No, I didn't have anything for
Kevin, do you have dad jokes?
I've always got dad jokes, bro.
All right, here we go. Let's bring Kevin.
I'm just gonna pull. I'll just pull one right out here.
All right. We'll do Bama
That's what
splaining.
Scoutmaster Kevin said.
Yeah, Scoutmaster
I'll be
Kevin.
Scoutmaster Kevin tonight.
Oh.
Woo, boy. A ham sandwich walks into a bar and orders a beer. What did the bartender say?
I know this one.
I'm sorry, we don't serve food here.
There you go. I thought he was.
All right, I got one more.
Up.
You don't have to do me big grief if you don't want to. Okay.
There you go.
All right, this is a classic dad joke.
We have to see the hoodie shirt.
Oh yeah. There we go. What's blue but not heavy? Light blue.
It's so obvious. It's great.
That's where you go, oh my God.
Oh my goodness. Well, we thank you guys so much for joining and chatting with us tonight, Shane and Chase. And we do this every couple of weeks, and who knows what we'll talk about next time. I'm sure we'll come up with something, but
I'll try to find some dad jokes that involve whole cans. And then we'll go from there.
all right.
Not uncle jokes.
Uncle jokes.
Oh, we thank you so much again for joining us. And if you're catching this on the replay, every other Sunday is when we do the live streams. If you can join us, and the audio version of this will be out on Wednesday, so you can find that everywhere you listen to podcasts. We'll have that out for you. But for Scoutmaster Kevin and Bo and Jess, I'm Brock. We're the Bama Geeks. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye, guys.
Let's all make a difference.